Hello all and welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. I thank you again for the love and support on the most recent video. Seriously appreciate it. Again, if you haven't checked out that recent video, I urge you to do so. Lots of different news from the previous few days within the crypto markets. This video again is going to be looking at the crypto markets and in more detail what's happening with Hedera at the moment as the NFT ecosystem continues to expand rapidly. We have seen some very large mints take place over the last couple of days, and there are some more mints happening in the future over the next couple of days and weeks stretching out. Firstly, though, we're looking at this. The Fed is expected to hike interest rates again by 0.75 of a percentage point, but its forecast may actually matter the most. The Federal Reserve began its two-day meeting on Tuesday, and economists expect the central bank to announce a third consecutive 0.75 point rate hike. This is really moving into restrictive monetary policy territory, and we will be moving into no man's land, said one economist. We haven't actually tightened monetary policy to fight inflation since the early 1980s. Any surprises may come in the Fed's quarterly projections on inflation, the economy, and interest rates. It's not what the Federal Reserve does, but what it says it could do in the future, and that will be most crucial when the central bank ends its two-day meeting on Wednesday. The Fed is expected to fire off another 0.75 point rate hike, its third in a row. It will also release quarterly forecasts for inflation, the economy, and the future path of interest rates on Wednesday at 2 p.m. ET. So that will be happening at some point later today, and that is going to be pivotal in what happens in the future with these risk-on assets like cryptocurrencies. It's more to do with the forecasts of where they're seeing inflation to go and what their trajectory is going to be for monetary policy and interest rates, which will be dictating how these markets behave over the coming weeks. Therefore, we could be seeing some more extreme volatility coming to the crypto markets, more sell-offs occurring, and lower prices across the board. For me personally, this is still a fantastic opportunity to be averaging into those positions. I'm building one hell of a Hedera bag, which I think many of you are as well from what I've seen in the comments and across different socials. Of course, there are other projects as well. The interoperability plays I talk about a lot being Quant with its stellar tokenomics. Projects like Chainlink. You've also got XLM. XRP has been making some moves again recently. The microtransaction payment systems of both XLM, XRP, and some other plays as well across the board. Great time to be averaging in if you're in it for the long term. I always stress this. This is a long-term game that everyone is playing. Anyway, let's jump across into some of that Hedera related news. Some of you will probably be wanting an update from web23.hbar, the other domain minting platform. Obviously, I covered some of the news that happened between these guys and Hashgraph.name in a previous video. Web23 did go live for sort of 12 to 24 hours or so. Their platform is currently down along with Hashgraph.name, but it will be back up very shortly. Community update, we are temporarily pausing our services at the recommendation of community leaders to ensure refunds are sent to a small handful of folks who minted duplicate.hbar domains. Please note there is no duplicity issue at present. The issue was quickly resolved within 2 to 3 hours of going live, and we will bring our services online as soon as these users receive their refunds. We thank the HBAR Foundation for their commitment to our efforts and continuing to foster collaboration. And we can see this announcement from the HBAR Foundation saying there was a small risk of duplication when minting. They have been communicating with both Web23 and Hashgraph name teams and appreciate the work they're putting into resolving the issue, especially as potential competitors. Both teams are committed to allowing the community to safely and easily mint, own, and build on top of smart domains, and we understand that any new use cases will inevitably have hiccups upon launch, and appreciate everyone's engagement in making our ecosystem more robust. If we go across to the Web23 sort of website, if you guys do want to mint a domain, you can do that via the Mint Domain Now button, and they've also got a Chrome extension that can be installed in your web browser, which enables you to sort of set up different features of those domains. For example, redirecting of Web3 domains across to Web2 surface domains if you own one. We can see it back online soon. It's also worth mentioning that if you have minted a hashgraph.name domain, which obviously went live before Web23, you can actually still use the Web23 infrastructure to manage that domain. They are sort of cross-platform interoperable as it currently stands and will be in the future. Web23 obviously building some cool tools, as are Hashgraph.name, just two competitors within the space. Some more announcements from the HBAR Foundation as well, and this is to do with that LG Art Lab release we saw. Fine art meets Web3 in 2 days. Internationally renowned sculptor Barry X Bull will be dropping his first collection on the LG Art Lab, the NFT platform built on top of Hedera. So you've got 2 more days until this type of art release, the Granulo Specular Chiaroscuro Metamorph Alchemic Gold. So this is great anyway in terms of expansion and notoriety of Hedera itself. Of course, that launch of the LG Art Lab was huge, and obviously we could see that being displayed across millions of different televisions in the future. They are one of the world's largest manufacturers of screen-related devices, and this is a great step forward again for Hedera and the ecosystem. Update as well from Coinbase. We expect to be able to re-enable deposits and begin trading for Hedera HBAR on the Hedera network in mid-October. So unfortunately, it's been pushed back. Again, I covered that in a previous video as to what actually happened, but more details in this thread. On 13th of September, Coinbase opened deposits for HBAR through the account alias functionality in order to support various address formats used by the broader HBAR ecosystem. We are now working to support account, ID, and memo tags, which of course is pretty much the standard across HBAR, the 0.0.x account naming infrastructure. Upon completion, deposits will be re-enabled and trading will be enabled for HBAR. We will continue to provide updates around the launch timeline as they become available. Updates will also be posted on their status page. So this is actually still good news for us in general, that Coinbase is working to resolve this and adopt the standards that the HBAR ecosystem currently uses. And of course, that's important going forward for any users that decide to buy on Coinbase and get introduced to the Hedera ecosystem. It would be a seamless transition from using a centralized exchange to moving across into the decentralized worlds built within Hedera. And again, I've said before, this is of course not going to be a marginal or have a marginal impact on the current HBAR price, but having this in place and this listing available on Coinbase for the next bull run or the next cycle, when we all expect HBAR to perform incredibly well because of all the different building that is currently happening, this gives greater access to HBAR tokens for more users, which is obviously a significant or could have a significant impact on price going forward. Another major announcement as well is Arkhia.io has just partnered with Google Cloud to accelerate Hedera. Arkhia will be providing scaled endpoints for the Hedera Mainnet, Testnet, and Previewnet to ensure that applications running core business services will have access to updates immediately. They're also leveraging the high availability capabilities of Google Cloud's load balancing, code vaults, and built-in metric capabilities, so developers will have maximum information and control of the Hedera Hashgraph infrastructure. So the too long didn't read takeaway from this is Arkhia has partnered with Google effectively to strengthen the infrastructure on Hedera Hashgraph and drive forward that ecosystem development. This is a very big partnership, and hopefully we'll see some fruits from their labor effectively going forward. Right. Let's have a look at some NFTs then. We've got one of the big announcements that have just come out. So we can see here now the official launch date for the Hungry Baboons NFT mint collection will be the 15th of October 22. And this is for those golden banana coin holders, the effective whitelist token that you can buy on Zoo's marketplace as it currently stands. Again, this is going to be one of those large blue chip projects like 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦. It could even potentially surpass it. The art is very, very good. There's going to be 4,444 with a mint price of 444 HBAR. Here we can see some samples of what these NFTs are going to look like. And comparing to what projects of this kind of magnitude have done on previous chains like Ethereum, they have done incredibly well going into the future. And this is one that I'm certainly excited to see launch very soon, and obviously I'll be releasing some more updates from me as we approach the mint date time. Flicking across to Zoo's marketplace, if you literally just search banana, you can find the golden banana coin. Of course, as I said, these are the whitelist sort of tokens, special access token issued by the United Hashgraph of planet Earth, with a total supply of 444, designed by Hungry in collaboration with HBAR to the moon. And we can see that at the moment the floor price is just under 14,000 HBAR, and I'd expect the floor price of these coins to continue rising as we approach that mint date, as people gain, or effectively the project gains more traction and excitement leading up to those mints taking place. EARTHLINGS.LAND as well. The schedule for the mints are currently live. So if you've got a founder's card, you would have already been able to mint as of yesterday. The whitelist one, if you signed up, that is today at 1 p.m. UTC. The Dropper NFT, if you own that, that is September the 22nd. And then for the rest of us, public mint, which will be September the 23rd at 1 p.m. UTC. And of course, these are already available on the secondary markets, Zoo's marketplace, that is those airships. The 𝗟𝗏𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦 mint as well went live a couple of days ago now, and it was very successful indeed. We can see the time to sell out was roughly 10 minutes. Now, I think that was because there was some load balancing issues. I actually managed to mint one of the NFTs this time around. I missed out on drop 2 because I had hashpack issues at the time. And unfortunately, the hashpack servers, or part of the infrastructure that they use, effectively got DDoSed by, or a natural DDoS by the sheer number of users, which we can see here. There was 3,601 users on the day of the launch trying to mint 800 NFTs. And then there was some rejected bot calls there, site load times, unique wallets, and the first 800 transactions took 27 seconds. Across the board, it wasn't a bad mint, and I know Hashpack and Pluto and the rest of the team have been looking into how they can further support these NFT launches in the future due to the sheer demand we're seeing from some of these projects. And of course, that's really important as going out into the future, we're going to see larger and larger mints. For example, that Hungry Baboons mint in the middle of October, I think many people are expecting to be one of the largest mints taking place on Hedera that we have seen to date. So that is going to be important to make sure that infrastructure is robust enough that it is fair across the board for majority of people. And unfortunately, these things happen. This is a teething ecosystem, but it's great to see many different actors from across the space stepping up to the mark and looking to future improvements to ensure that everything is smooth as can be. Another project I wanted to cover is something called LEEMON Swap. It's just come onto my radar, and they are looking to basically build some kind of aggregator for DeFi, but NFTs on Hedera have become a main pillar of the HBAR community. LEEMON Swap has developed a novel way to ensure a robust DeFi ecosystem by incorporating additional utility for NFT projects on Hedera. Some flagship NFT projects on Hedera are 𝗟𝗏𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦 and the 𝗟𝗏𝗦s NFTs. Holders of these NFTs not only will get an airdrop of their juice token, but will also see increased APR emissions on liquidity pools, staking, and receive a multiplier to earn extra tokens from projects on our launchpad. This system will help to raise awareness for a wide range of projects within some of the most active and vocal communities in the HBAR ecosystem, as well as increase the incentive for holding select community NFTs. There's nothing better to end a hot DeFi summer than a fresh glass of juice. So I'll be dropping some more updates on this as more information gets released. Something exciting coming up, but also gives more utility if you do hold some of these NFTs. So it looks like they will be doing some airdrops in the future of these juice tokens if you hold a 𝗟𝗏𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗏𝗥𝗏𝗥𝗏𝗥𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 NFT and NFTs. PENGUPALS will be releasing on September the 23rd, so that is 2 days away now. This is an interesting one, and one of the reasons that I'm interested in it is they are partnered with the COINBASE NFT ecosystem for the 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗏𝗏s that will be taking place in the future. Obviously, that is part of a Web 3.0 experience where there's obviously gated access to the platform. If obviously you hold some of these NFTs, you get some special bonuses and perks. But we all know how well lands and things like that have done in the past on other chains, and I expect no different from the HBAR ecosystem. Now, these you can get early access if you hold one of the whitelist tokens. These are actually quite cheap, around 250 HBAR available on Zoos. I will show those in a second. That brings the mint price down to these NFTs of 49 HBAR. So they are very cheap NFTs because, of course, there is 10,000 of them. And then without a whitelist pass, you can pick up the NFTs for 69 HBAR when they go live. And of course, they will be available as well on Zoos Marketplace after the mint takes shape. In fact, I will play this video for you guys quickly on screen just to show some of the different features of what's going to be happening with this mint. So 10,000 different Pengu NFTs. Penguland is what will be coming. This obviously looks fairly similar to a game that some of you may have played when you were slightly younger. Looks really interesting and something that I'm fairly excited about. You've got the PAL token as well, so there'll be staking rewards, Penguland currency, and you'll be able to spend it in game. They will also have apparel going into the future. This is quite a large project, and they are looking to stay around 69 HBAR, like I said, 49 if you have the token. There are some gold Pengus as well, which I think if you mint 120 of them, you can buy. power to the Pengu. Interesting project, and one that I will be jumping in, especially because the mint fees are fairly reasonable for this project. Here as well, we can see that announcement I was talking about. So PENGUPALS and Creamies, we are happy to announce that we have partnered with the Creamies NFT to form a part of the LANDS ecosystem. This will hold mutual benefits for both projects. Stay tuned for more information. So again, another reason why I'm excited. If you flick across the Zoos marketplace, you can see here at the moment, the floor price for these whitelist tokens is around 250 HBAR. And of course, this will save you 20 HBAR per mint. I believe the mint will be taking place on Zoos marketplace itself, instead of another website like 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗦 this time. Right, wrapping up the video then, a big announcement from the Source of Swap Labs team. We are thrilled to announce the CEX premiere of Source on MEXC Global, September the 21st, today at 12 UTC. MEXC Global caters to 6 million plus users in more than 70 countries across the globe. And of course, I've been talking about the Source token for quite a long time. It's one of the HTS tokens that I believe will do incredibly well out into the future and probably outstrip the short-term price movements of HBAR, as it is one of the, or they are positioning themselves to be, of course, the price oracle of the Hedera ecosystem, and they are one of the firm pillars at the moment for development across Hedera Hashgraph. And we can see here as well, there is a giveaway happening at the moment, 10 people to win $5 to celebrate the new M Day with Source. Follow MEXC Global, Source Swap Labs, like, retweet and tag 5 friends, and then learn about the M Day and the register. And if we actually look at the size of MEXC, of course, they're not one of the largest. They're not sort of Binance or Coinbase territory. However, they're not a small exchange either. We can see here on CoinMarketCap, they are ranked at number 13th in terms of their score and sort of volume. We see 1.4 billion in volume over the past 24 hours, which is actually slightly larger than what Coinbase has done. And we see the average liquidity, weekly visits, 2 million visits a week. Some different markets as well, 1,728 different markets with 1,513 coins, which is a lot more than the majority of these other exchanges, fairly similar to Gate.io here. We can see this is stellar news and one of the first HTS tokens that will be going live on another centralized exchange, especially a large one. Of course, we saw the 𝗟𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦 tokens go live on another centralized exchange first. But the Source edition will add greater volume. Hopefully as well, in the future, we'll be seeing some listings on some of the tracking websites like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. Again, that will drum up additional eyeballs effectively for the Hedera ecosystem and the different projects that are building part of the infrastructure going forward. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment as well if you've got something to say. Make sure you subscribe for any future content and also follow me over on Twitter. I've got some future stuff that I will be releasing soon, which will be exciting for those of you who are first. So make sure you don't miss that. And until the next one, I'll catch you then. Cheers.